I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Now with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, best phones, best networks, no contracts. Lots of stuff to get into. Congratulations, first and foremost, to the reigning, defending 2-time NBA champions on a quest to three-peat. That would be the Golden State Warriors, who knocked off the Portland Trail Blazers in an OT win last night. 119-117 in overtime. Steph Curry ended up dropping 37 points. He had a triple-double. Draymond Green, he also had a triple-double. 2 teammates, 2 members of the starting 5, both had triple-doubles, knocking off the Portland Trail Blazers. Props to Damian Lillard, who played hurt and injured. Obviously, C.J. McCollum didn't have the greatest series in the world, but I think he's a stud. I think he's arrived on the scene as somebody who is special that we should keep our eyes on in the years to come because he's a special talent. I love me some Damian Lillard. And even though, Steph Curry had a better series, and I think Steph Curry is the better point guard and the better player, to me, it doesn't take away from the reality and the fact that Damian Lillard had a better year considering the circumstances. I think he did more with less, and to me, he deserves first team All-NBA. But there is only one Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter this game has ever seen as far as I'm concerned. He's the greatest shooter that I've ever seen in my lifetime. He warrants discussion as to one of the greatest players of all time because of those realities. Klay Thompson and him make up the best shooting backcourt I have ever seen. And I have to tell y'all this as I'm sitting here because I'm doing the show from Toronto, Canada. Yes, I did have to go through customs. Yes, they kept me for 90 damn minutes. Yes, I'm unapologetic about the fact that I am actually rooting against the Toronto Raptors because as fabulous as I think this city is phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. It is a gorgeous mosaic personified. It is a mosaic the likes of, dare I say something you have never seen. It is special in Toronto, but I digress. Getting here is a problem. Getting here is a problem, and I'm not getting away from that. Now, listen, I'm an American citizen, okay? And I understand that, getting into the country is supposed to be difficult. But damn it, I didn't think getting into Canada was going to be that difficult, but it is. And I don't have global entry. And boy, did I pay for it yesterday. I know I'm whining. I know I'm complaining. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I told y'all. How is it that I'm on a plane full of people coming from New York to Toronto, Canada, and I'm the only individual on the entire flight that they sent to the immigration line? How'd that happen? How'd that happen? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the only dude, me. I was on the plane. I'm the only dude that they sent to the immigration line. They must have been watching me on television and hear me on radio and said, we're going to put him through this on purpose. I'm trying to tell you. I landed here 2.5 hours before I got to my hotel. That's how long it took me to get through customs, to the baggage claim, to get my luggage, then had to go to some spot to wait for my car service and all of that other stuff. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I don't deserve this. And that's why I'm not going to root for the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully this is my last trip here for this season because by next year I'll have global entry and won't have to go through this nonsense. But I digress. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Let me get back to the point of my discussion. Looking at this series with Toronto and Milwaukee, I was of the mindset that if you're the Golden State Warriors, you needed Kevin Durant to win the finals. After watching Golden State, albeit against Portland, I'm not so sure that is true. It almost seems to me it don't matter who the hell the Warriors are playing. They're just a well-oiled machine. They're capable of amping it up at any given moment, any damn time they want. It's just inescapable. Steph Curry is such a phenomenal shooter. Klay Thompson, who didn't shoot that great in this series, it seemed like every pressure shot that mattered, he made them. Draymond Green, you see how fast he looks pushing the ball up the floor, being the point forward that he is? You see that? And then we got guys coming off the bench. McKinney, Looney, Cook. They're giving you quality minutes, and they are balling. Jordan Bell right away. Look, man, I mean, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala was hurt last night. Even though he played, I'm just looking at them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you right now, this is something special to behold. You cannot summarily dismiss what you have seen from the Golden State Warriors. And right now, I'm literally at a loss, wondering who the hell's going to beat them. Because I don't think they could be beat. I'm just watching them right now. They're a well-oiled machine. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's not be stupid and act like they are better. They are better without Kevin Durant. Let's not be stupid, because that's just sacrilegious. Let's not be dumb. But I will tell you that I'm incredibly impressed with Steve Kerr. I'm incredibly impressed with this coaching staff to have these dudes ready, and for these dudes to barely play during the regular season and to show up and show out the way that they did last night. I can't say enough about them. I really, really can't. I kind of felt bad for Portland. Again, Lillard isn't 100%. He dropped 28 and 12, but on 45% shooting. And CJ McCollum showed up last night with 26 points on 45% shooting as well. And this kid, Myers Leonard, dropped 30, 25 in the first half. But the reality is that they lost to a better team. Portland was just completely overmatched, because you can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to make mistakes. It is what it is. Portland is a good team. But Golden State is special. And they're about to three-peat. And I've said it before, their inspiration is their last hurrah at the Oracle. I didn't think they were going to lose before going to the finals, and that's what I see here as well. So it is what it is. This is what we're looking at here. And right now, I really, really want to know how y'all feel. First of all, do you believe somebody can knock off the Golden State Warriors? I believe that team will be Milwaukee, facing them in the finals. But do you believe Milwaukee or Toronto can beat this team? And if so, how you going to pull it off? And do you believe they're a team that doesn't need Kevin Durant? I still say they do, which is why I don't have a problem. And oh, by the way, speaking of Kevin Durant, let me be very clear. Kevin Durant made news yesterday because my buddy Chris Broussard has his own radio show on Fox Sports, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker. These are two of my lifelong buddies in this business. So there's an extra level of affection and love that I have for both of them. They are not colleagues. They are friends and brothers. So yes, I compete against them. They had a different network and all that other stuff. But in the interest of full disclosure, y'all need to understand that while if I was in the same time slot as them and I was going up against them, I would try to take them out. Make no mistake about it, because that's just what I do. But understand, they're my brothers and I love them. They are my friends, and I'm incredibly proud of what they're doing, working with one another right now. Having said all of that, Chris Broussard made news by talking about Kevin Durant and how the way the Golden State Warriors are looking, this is Kevin Durant's worst nightmare. Then Kevin Durant put up a tweet basically questioning, really, this is my worst nightmare, bro? Sort of knocking down that theory, debunking that theory or whatever. I agree with Kevin Durant. I don't agree with Chris Broussard. It's not his worst nightmare. See, here's the problem, and this is the problem that I have, and this is why I have to come to the defense of Kevin Durant. There is no one that was more critical than me of Kevin Durant going from OKC to Golden State. At the time, I called it the weakest move I'd ever seen by a superstar. And although I apologize on national television to his mama, because I love me some Mama Durant. She's a special lady. I love her. Okay? The reality of the situation is I'm glad I apologize, because people have misconstrued what I said to indict Kevin Durant's abilities, which I think should require immediate drug testing. The fact of the matter is this: Kevin Durant, to me right now, is arguably the greatest player on the planet Earth. He's an unstoppable offensive force. Plus, he defends now. Hits clutch shots, scores in bunches, can drop 30 in his sleep. You know who he is. Y'all know who he is. You heard him say it. He's Kevin freaking Durant. Now, my problem is, as I explained to him when he and I ultimately talked about it, my problem was he's so great, he so dramatically shifted the balance of power in the NBA that it made it unfair to everybody else. And for a year, I had no interest in watching basketball for the first time in my life because there was no competition, because I knew Cleveland or anybody else could not compete with him. That's why when LeBron won the Eastern Conference Finals in Boston, and he was asked by our very own Doris Burke a couple of years ago, Kevin Durant's first in Golden State, he talked about the battle coming up against Golden State. LeBron sat up there with the trophy in his hand, so I really don't want to think about that right now. I'm just in a good mood, and I don't want to even stress myself by thinking about that. He gave a damn concession speech on national television before the NBA Finals even started, which I thought was ridiculous. Figure out a way to go out there and go at it. But I also understood the reality of the situation. Kevin Durant is that great. He's that great that people walking around acting like, excuse me, you don't need Kevin Durant. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Now, understand when you look at Golden State, you might see guys playing a little better together and all of this other stuff. There's more distribution of the basketball. Steph Curry can step up and be more aggressive with shot selection as opposed to being more judicious and diplomatic because he's got two other people to share with. Draymond Green doesn't have to sacrifice as much as his offensive game in order to facilitate things for the Kevin Durant and to a lesser degree the Boogie Cousins. I get all of that. But here's how I think everybody's looking at it backwards. Did it ever occur to everybody that Kevin Durant is so great, that's why you have to modify things? It's not like you have to modify things to make the team better. Kevin Durant is so phenomenal. Kevin Durant is so great. That's why modification is necessary. Because if he wasn't that great, then you bring him on board. All right, figure out a way to fit in with Steph and Clay. But no, Steph and Clay had to figure out how to get Kevin Durant fitted in. Kevin Durant didn't go to Golden State begging the Warriors to come. Iguodala and Draymond and Steph and Clay, they went to the Hamptons. They flew to the Hamptons to talk Kevin Durant into coming to Golden State. What y'all talking about here? That's what they did. What you doing that for? You know why? Because you had lost the championship to Cleveland, even though it was via a stimulus package given to Cleveland by Adam Silver in the NBA league office by suspending Draymond Green for that bogus kick after LeBron James shoved him to the floor. But that's neither here nor there. In the end, what it comes down to is Kevin Durant is so great, he's so phenomenal, that you felt compelled to make adjustments and modifications to appease him. You know why? Because it don't matter where Kevin Durant is. He always going to give you 27 a night on 49% shooting or better, on 38% shooting from three or better. That's Kevin Durant. And let's not get that twisted. Now on a different subject that I wanted to broach, because it's necessary. Earvin Magic Johnson, 5-time champion, one of the greatest NBA players we've ever seen in our lifetime. That Earvin Magic Johnson